This is the Stone Ridge Condominiums year-end market review for 2025, in which we analyze the performance and the trajectory of unit sales at the Stone Ridge Condominiums in Franklin, Massachusetts. This video also looks as far back as market events of 2020 to give you key insights on pricing, sales volume, and the shifting dynamics of contract negotiation within Stone Ridge condo community as 2026 gets underway. The three new phrases for Stone Ridge at the start of 2026 are pricing stability, sales volume normalization, and a shift in negotiation away from intense bidding wars. All these phrases are indicators of a market that's transitioning away from a speculative environment into a more refined, high-value investment environment. The big headline at Stone Ridge in 2025 is continued price appreciation, albeit at a slower pace. The median sale price for a Stone Ridge condo in 2024 was a robust $460,000. By the end of 2025, Stone Ridge had a new all-time high median price of $472,500. That's a year-over-year increase of 2.7%, or a gain of $12,500. That's important because it's an improvement over 2023 to 2024, which saw a slight weakening in median sale price at Stone Ridge. 2025's price rise was built on 2023's baseline value, which was the highest the market had ever achieved at Stone Ridge. 2025 added 2.7% on top of the nearly 50% price appreciation realized in the previous 5 years. 2.7% is actually a pretty healthy standard. Slow and steady growth is predictable and seems sustainable. It lowers the risk for both lenders and long-term owners. For a buyer, it means confidence that your equity at purchase is safe and likely to grow over time. Let's turn to sales volume. In 2024, Stone Ridge saw 15 units change hands. In 2025, that figure dropped to 12 units sold. Now that's a 20% decline in sales volume. Year over year, a 20% decline is not insignificant. If sale volumes drop that sharply, it can sometimes mean that liquidity is evaporating. The key to the sales volume stats for 2025 is looking back to the post-pandemic frenzy period. 2025 had a more balanced pace, consistent with historical pre-frenzy norms of 2020, when 11 Stone Ridge units changed hands. The sale price to list price ratio gives us a window into the emotional intensity of the transactions. Let's trace the incredible psychological swing from a market where in 2020 sellers had to negotiate to a couple of years later where buyers just surrendered. This chart captures the full drama of the last 6 years. In 2020, the average ratio was 99.5%, so just slightly under asking price. This is a classic traditional market where sellers typically list properties with an expectation of a small price reduction or perhaps closing cost contribution. Buyers had negotiating power and time for due diligence, including a home inspection. And then came that explosion in demand. The surge was immediate and aggressive. In 2021, the ratio skyrocketed to 104.8% of asking price. Buyers were suddenly paying nearly 5% over asking. This signaled the death of contingencies and the immediate onset of bidding wars. But the true psychological peak, the point of peak buyer frenzy, occurred in 2022 when the ratio hit 106.5%, 6.5% over asking price. It's unbelievable. Agents were advising buyers not just to bid high, but to waive as many protective measures as needed. Home inspection, financing, even appraisal gaps, just to secure the contract. The list price became merely the floor for the bidding war. That environment is simply exhausting for buyers and is unsustainable for the market overall. So the decline that followed was inevitable and necessary. The ratio began its ascent back towards equilibrium in 2023. It went to 104% of asking price in 2023 and then 103.2% in 2024. And finally, the market settled in 2025 at 101.5% over asking price. A seller who saw 106.5% of asking price in 2022 might feel a little disappointed by 101.5% in 2025. Wouldn't this be called a massive erosion in seller leverage? Well, it's an erosion in chaotic leverage, but it's a restoration of strategic leverage. This crucial point is that 101.5% over asking still maintains a clear premium for sellers. the market is still transacting above seller's strategic list price. If seller leverage had truly evaporated in 2025, the ratio would have fallen back below 100%. In 2025, even though the premium dropped, selling for a 1.5% over asking price is still a premium. It confirms that sellers retain strong pricing power. This shift marks the move away from intense, widespread, and often chaotic bidding wars towards something far more rational. The decline to 101.5% restores opportunity for buyers. That's a crucial implication. The 101.5% environment means that while demand is still high enough to push selling prices slightly above asking, the buyer now has some leverage, which means a more healthy and sustainable market. In sum, the atmosphere at Stone Ridge has changed from panic buying to a calculated investment environment. So the buyer is buying a high-value market, but with significantly less transactional risk compared to 2023. And for the seller, the message is crystal clear. The market will still pay a premium, but that premium is no longer guaranteed by sheer market heat. The premium has to be earned. The 2026 market looks to be one that demands expert preparation, at least some staging, and a sophisticated pricing strategy to maximize the outcome for the home seller. The rules of engagement have changed dramatically since 2022 and 2023. Success now depends entirely on recognizing that while the market is at a historic high baseline, it rewards professional execution over reliance on passive market heat. Stone Ridge sellers should take solace in the fact that they are in position to capitalize on that nearly 50% price appreciation that has taken place since 2020. That's an amazing number. And critically, the 2025 market proved that this massive equity gain is sustainable and is successfully transitioning into a phase of stability defined by modest and predictable price growth. If you are considering selling your Stone Ridge condo and want to capitalize fully on that incredible nearly 50% equity gain, expert guidance is absolutely necessary as we navigate the strategic landscape away from the remnants of the bidding war mentality. We offer Stone Ridge sellers the market power of our exclusive Stone Ridge online marketing hub. It's a dedicated marketing hub built specifically for the Stone Ridge condo community. It features a library of professional YouTube videos promoting the Stone Ridge lifestyle, highlighting everything from the versatile floor plans to the pet-friendly trails at the Franklin State Forest. This means buyers fall in love with your community before they even step through your door. Call or text me, Warren Reynolds, at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services at 508-561-6259 for a free, no-obligation consultation. We'll create a custom marketing plan tailored to your Stone Ridge home and designed to get you happily moved with clarity and confidence.